Hi, I'm Sarah Jane from siliconmoulds.com, and today I'm going to show you a quick demonstration on how to use chocolate transfer sheets. Chocolate transfer sheets are edible and printed onto an acetate backing. Basically, we're going to put the tempered chocolate onto this and spread it out evenly, and then once it's set, we'll be able to peel it away from the sheet. When you look closely at the sheet, you will see that one side of it feels a little rough, which is the side with the transfer. We need that side to be facing up the way when we spread our chocolate on it. Okay, here we have a chocolate transfer sheet. I don't need the whole of it, you can cut these quite easily. All you need to do is take a pair of scissors to it. I'm using it on top of a piece of silicone mat, on top of some cardboard. And the reason for that is I've got stainless steel bench tops in here, and at this time of year they can be quite cold. I don't want the chocolate getting too cold or it could go out of temper, and I want it to stay a nice shiny finish. It also makes cleaning up easier when it's on the mat, because once the chocolate's set I can peel it all off and use it again. Now, I don't want to use the whole of this transfer sheet today. I'm just going to make some pretty little toppers to go on top of chocolate coloured Oreos. So what I'm going to do just now to start with is I'm just going to cut this sheet into about half, which makes it a little bit easier to work with. Just run the scissors across it. Now I've got a couple of different patterns, so I'm going to do another pattern as well. Got a nice stripy one. Now this one appears to be on diagonals, so that I can know where the marks are, I'm just going to cut down the actual diagonals. Excuse the noise in the background, it's my tempering machine which is currently holding chocolate in temper. You don't need to use a chocolate tempering machine, it just makes things much easier if you're doing large batches. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour some of the chocolate on top of the transfer with the rough side facing up the way, and I have an offset spatula which I'm going to use to spread it out over the top. So just take some chocolate, some tempered chocolate, and pour it on. We don't want a huge thickness of it, but we do need enough to cover it. There we go. And with your offset spatula, just literally slide it back or forward over the top of the transfer sheet of the pattern. Try and keep this nice and even. We want to leave this at room temperature for just a few minutes until the surface gets tacky and starts to semi-set. At that point, I'm just going to cut some circles in it with my cutter before we put it into the fridge to harden off. Once it's hardened, we'll be able to peel it easily off the sheet. Pattern. I'm not worried about going out the edge of the silicone because we could just peel that off. It's not the flattest surface. Under here with the card, just briefly. Now, I don't know if you can see, but the surface of this chocolate here is already starting to go almost matte. In some areas it's touch dry, in some areas it's still wet. I'm just going to give that a little bit longer for this piece here to harden off. Then we're going to use our cutter to cut out some circles. You may wish at this point to peel your chocolate sheet off the mat so that it's easier to remove to put into the fridge later. If you don't do this at this point, what can happen is the chocolate on the sheet is going to crack and it's not going to come away easily. As you'll see, it's almost getting to the stage it's like leather. However, not. The chocolate on this piece is now touch dry, but it is still slightly malleable, so at this point we're going to cut our circles. So just place your cutter and press down sharply and take it away. It should come away cleanly. Oops, it's actually gone slightly too far. I'm setting them on my sheet. I need to work fast with these. I'm just going to pop these into the fridge for about 15 minutes to totally set. Okay, we're going to make some chocolate Oreos. And I've just got a baking tray and a couple of our 8-cell chocolate cookie molds. Now you can use any small filled cookie for this, like Jammy Dodgers or cream crunchies. Make sure it's not the double stuffed ones, because with the double stuffed ones, by the time you put the chocolate in and then the cookie on top, what's going to happen is it's just going to sit too high. The cookie will poke out the top rather than be covered in the chocolate. These are really nice because there's all sorts of different decorations you can put on top, like little chocolate pieces, stars, buttons, various different things. So I've just got a couple of disposable paper bags. And I'm going to put some tempered chocolate into the paper bag. This is really easy to do. The hardest bit is tempering the chocolate. Which we've already done it in another video. If you have a look at our video under chocolate moulding, you'll be able to see how to microwave tempered chocolate. So I've got a disposable piping bag, and I'm just going to snip the very tip end of this off. Now I'm going to pipe some chocolate into the cells. I can move these out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to tip some of the chocolate into the cells of this mould. Probably about a third full. Once you've filled it about a third full, take your chocolate cookie, place it on the top, and just give it a little wiggle so it beds itself in. Okay. There you are. A third full. That's just going to make sure that the actual top of our cookie, which is currently the bottom, is going to be covered in chocolate and the cookie will poke through. Then all we do is pipe some more chocolate over the top of the cookie, like so. And a tiny bit of fluffing in there. And then just give it a little tap. And as you give it a little tap, it'll even itself out. And you can poke the cookie down a bit if it's rising up. So just give it a little wiggle and a tap. Gets rid of any air bubbles. Now you can see why I've got a mat down here. It's just to get rid of any mess. A tap. As you tap it, any air that's coming out will rise to the surface as little bubbles and just pop. If they need a bit more help, just give them a little nudge and they'll just disappear. And once you've done a couple of trays of these, leave them for 5 minutes or so until the chocolate starts to go tacky. And then we're just going to fire them on the tray into the fridge for about 15-20 minutes to completely harden up before we remove them. Again, just another little tap, it will cover the chocolate over. These cookies do have a tendency to kind of float up inside the mould, the top of the chocolate, so you may need to poke them back down. That's it, that tray is just going to slide onto here, and we're going to put it in the fridge for about 10-15 minutes. Hi, right, we've come back and our chocolate transfer sheets are now set in the fridge and are ready to be released. As you can see, they don't take any effort to release at all. They're pretty much not attached to the sheet anymore. This is the excess. We'll be left with these pretty patterned discs on the other side, ready to go on top of our Oreos. Going over some of them will be better than others depending on where we've stamped the patterns. There we are, these are nice and colourful. And these two are the scrumpy. You can still eat them, of course. Not any point in wasting any scrap, but those won't get remelted for any other projects. There we are, these are pretty. And of course we already have some in another pattern. Now the reason I have gloves on is because we don't want to touch the actual chocolate with our fingers because that will take away the shine from the finish. So literally just pop these out the molds. There's our covered cookies. You can easily decorate these by putting little chocolate stars or buttons or various other things on the top. And just pop out like that. All I'm going to do with these is put a tiny touch of chocolate on the top so that I can stick my chocolate discs on.